This is the Georgia Farm Monitor. Since 1966, your source for state and national agribusiness news and features for farmers and consumers about Georgia's #1 industry, agriculture. The Georgia Farm Monitor is produced by the state's largest general farm organization, the Georgia Farm Bureau. Now, here are your hosts, Ray DeLisio and Kenny Bergamy.
Come on in, take a load off. Glad you could join us for another episode of the Georgia Farm Monitor. I am Ray, he is Kenny, and this is what we call the rundown, Kenny.
That's right, Ray. Coming up, Calvary, Georgia, home to roughly 200 people. But on this day, it played host to 3 times that many, all of whom enjoyed the festivities during the annual Lions Club Mule Day. Why all the excitement? We'll show you. Also on the program, he's become a rock star of sorts to Georgia school children, and today we have an in-studio guest with us, with Georgie, the Georgia-grown mascot. You'll hear all about the good things he's doing and how a number of Georgia schools are now adopting the farm-to-plate philosophy.
And speaking of farm-to-plate, Thanksgiving may be over, but now it's time to look ahead to those Christmas and New Year's menu ideas, and we've got just the solution. Meals from the field, that plus a whole lot more starts right now on the Georgia Farm Monitor.
One of the biggest challenges cattlemen and dairy producers face is finding a reliable veterinarian to care for their animals. It's a problem the state is looking to address with their new vet loan repayment program. Damon Jones has the story.
With the majority of veterinary students deciding to specialize in small animals, farmers in small rural areas are having trouble finding qualified vets to work on their larger animals. That's why the state of Georgia is incentivizing recent graduates to help these underserved communities with a program to help with their student loans.
The beauty of the program is it's a loan repayment program. And the program works, the legislature allocated $100,000 for this go-round this year. And that involves 5 applicants that can receive up to $20,000 apiece if they meet certain criteria.
You know, unfortunately, one of the things that comes with a good education is loans and debt. And, you know, it's a struggle for new grads to get started and make a living and get their feet on the ground. And so something like this, a loan repayment program, is a perfect way to offset some of those challenges that arise.
To qualify, the participants must provide veterinary services for at least 20 hours a week in communities with populations of less than 35,000. It's a program designed not only to help the farmers, but also the vets that travel to these areas.
A lot of Georgia is rural counties, and so when people that have large animals, food animals, goats, sheep, cows, those kinds of things, they may have a hard time finding a veterinarian that is able to practice on those animals. So when they have a veterinary need, they have to go searching for someone, and it may come from multiple counties away.
Rural vets have to travel a long way. I mean, I cover all of Georgia pretty much, parts of Florida and South Carolina. So, I mean, I have a big area that I cover. And so, you know, having more vets available will kind of offset some of that travel and kind of help balance some of that out so we're all able to provide the needs of the farmers.
While this program will help, the only real solution is for more students to take up an interest in large animal medicine. It's an option Powell believes every student should at least take a look at.
There's days that it's a lot of hard work, and so, you know, it's got to be something that you're passionate about. But, you know, if it's something, if you're considering being a veterinarian and you've never tried traveling out to a farm and just seeing if that's for you, give it a shot. It may be something that you become passionate about without even knowing. There's nothing that no words that I can use to describe the value that it has for me to be able to impact the food industry and, you know, healthy animals produce better milk. And so I love having a role in that.
And the good news for those looking to get into the large animal practice, this program will extend into 2018 with the application window quickly approaching.
This next year in 2018, the legislature has graciously allowed us to fund this program again. The applications will be available after December the 1st.
Reporting from Madison, I'm Damon Jones for the Georgia Farm Monitor.
On to Calvary now, where more than 60,000 people from all over the U.S. recently made the trip to Grady County for the 45th annual Calvary Lions Club Mule Day Festival. The event celebrates an animal that has meant so much to this farming community over the years. It also helps support a number of charitable causes while also showing all those in attendance a good time.
We have had as high as 500 arts and crafts booths. You'll see a parade, you'll see syrup making. And we got a museum that's got a lot of antique plows and things like that.
Everything that we make here today, whether it be arts and booth fees, our food booth fees, the money we make from making syrup or making meal, everything goes back into the community, whether it be buying eyeglasses for somebody here locally or taking part with Lions Club International's foundation charities.
Meantime, every year, Georgia Farm Bureau recognizes outstanding young farmers for their work on the farm and in Farm Bureau activities.
Once again, 3 finalists were chosen for the annual Young Farmer Achievement Award, and although all of them were worthy of the prize, only one was chosen.
Hey, I'm Thomas Harrell. I'm from Madison County, and we're this year's Young Farmer Achievement Award winners. When I was raised in Gwinnett County, and none of my parents or grandparents were involved in farming. It's just something, you know, I don't know what caused me. I went down to uncles of mine down in South Georgia and helped him work some cows when I was probably 13, 14 years old, and kind of got interested in it then. And we've got Over Jordan Farm here. It's 216 acres. We got 8 broiler houses and a welding shop that we manufacture livestock equipment. It's D&H Manufacturing. We also have cattle here on the farm, and we grow hay for the cattle, and we sell some hay also.
When we first started the farm, I worked full-time away from the farm, but then I came home nights, weekends, and I walked chicken houses, and we worked cattle on the weekends. As our children came along, my role became a little more backstage. I do a lot with the payroll for our welding shop, those sorts of things. Running a business
there's a lot to it, to do it and do it right, you know, and that's where I have Alicia. You know, she's, you know, without Alicia, you know, it'd been really hard, because especially with the welding shop, there's a lot of times I'm gone and she has to be here to make sure chickens are done and checked.
We absolutely love being able to raise our children in a place where they can play and explore and do the things that you wouldn't be able to do in the city. They are learning things every day. We homeschool, so we get the opportunity to kind of give them a real hands-on approach to life. We love being out here because it's kind of us making our own decisions every day.
I think it's really good for them. I think it gives them a sense of responsibility to be out here, and you know, you got to feed your goats, and you know, got to check the cow when the cows were calving. You know, that was their deal, you know. They had to go check cows and calves.
The kids love it. We started a few years ago. We did do some bottled dairy calves, and they enjoyed that. They loved that. This year we have done some goats. The children are just now getting to the age to do showing and those sorts of things, so we're starting to look into that. But as far as hands-on, they are with us every step of the way.
It's made me get out, you know, whereas probably I went and left the farm. So in doing that, I've made friends that I went and made, and contacts I went and made. And that's helpful not only on the farm, but in my welding shop, selling the livestock equipment. That's been really, really valuable too.
We have made these connections across the state that have really helped us when we were starting out and didn't know what we were doing. We had people we could call who had said, yeah, we've been there. We were there a couple of years ago. We understand. But it has been such a huge advantage to know we have a voice.
Parents, gather the kids, cause when the show continues, joining us here in the studio will be Georgie, the lovable Georgia-grown mascot. Today, we're going to hear how the Department of Agriculture is bridging the gaps when it comes to nutritional value and quality of food served in Georgia schools.
Hi, I'm Loren Griffith, and I'm an Extension Leadership Specialist at the University of Georgia, and I work with all of our leaders in agriculture and forestry and help them to be the best they can be. I have the best job ever in the whole world, and I love it because I can work with amazing people who want to better themselves and they want to grow, and that's part of what I get to do, is to facilitate that growth for them. Today I'm working with a group of program and staff, and we're talking about generational differences in the workplace, and so that's a body of research that I do. And so we're looking at each of the generations, millennials, baby boomers, traditionalists, Gen Xers, and talking about their preference in their work style and how we can learn from that and how we can work better together once we understand each other. I've always just been fascinated by the stories of leaders and how they've become who they are. So that's something that I always wanted to study and learn more about. And I'm also fascinated about adults and how we learn. And so that was part of my inspiration in wanting to study adult education and look at women specifically and how women learn leadership skills in the context of agriculture. As a small child growing up in Cochran, Georgia, I was surrounded by agriculture, and I think it's such a way of life for us. It's just a blessing for me to work with it and to develop leaders in the industry.
Georgie had a question at lunch one day. How did all this food get here on my plate? I've got Georgia-grown peaches and strawberries and pork, but how does it get from the farm to my fork? So he drove through Georgia to farms and fields to see if he could get the answer revealed. He found fields of green and fields of sweets. He found orchards of fruits and orchards of treats. He went to the farms, he went to the stores. He met the suppliers and found out the source of where Georgia grown comes from and how and whom makes Georgia grown food get to his lunchroom. Remember next time when you eat your lunch, when you chew and when you munch, just about noon before lunch is gone, make sure your plate was made Georgia grown. I tell you that Georgie gets around, doesn't he? And it just so happens we have him here in studio with us this week, along with Misty Friedman, who is the School Nutrition and Outreach Specialist for the Georgia Department of Agriculture. Misty, good to see you. Thank you so much for coming in. Georgie, I know Georgie does not talk, so we will just shake his paw. Georgie, thank you for coming in. But yeah, Misty, let's go ahead and start with the Georgia Grown's Feed My School program. I mean, you have a lot of good things going on with this right now. Give us some background on the program. I mean, how has the Department of Ag worked with these schools, to make this and have schools give you feedback for this?
This is our 6th school year with Feed My School for a Week, and every year we add between 3 and 5 school systems that we go in and work with, and these school nutrition directors are making menus that are 75 to 100% Georgia products. And in most cases, it is 100% for an entire school week of school lunches. And it just really brings a focus to the local communities, what's being produced there, and really agriculture as a whole across the state, with it being our largest industry and all.
Yeah, and of course, another thing we hear so much about, and something Commissioner Gary Black is very passionate about, is the 2020 Vision Program. And we're not talking about perfect eyesight. It's more like the perfect nutrition program. Talk about that.
The 2020 Vision for School Nutrition is that by the beginning of school year 2020, 20% of every meal offered to a student in the state of Georgia will be a Georgia product. And this is actually foods grown and processed here in the state. Right.
And we saw Georgie out there that day, you know, running through the fields. Again, Georgie is very smart, but Georgie he still has not learned how to talk. He can communicate though, but what did he learn that day going around the state of Georgia, dealing with the school children and dealing with Georgia agriculture?
Well, his first thought was, you know, looking at his lunch tray that day, is how did this peach get on my tray? Right. And so we decided to go out and we visited farms from North Georgia to South Georgia, growing everything from peaches to cucumbers. And we really got a chance to see how it's grown, how it's processed, how it's packaged, and how it's delivered to the school, and then how it actually ended up on his lunch tray. Wow. And so he followed it from the beginning to the end, literally from farm to fork.
Yeah, and I'm sure there's a lot of you know, administrators out there maybe possibly watching this. and possibly interested in this, and how can schools reach out to either the Georgia Department of Agriculture or yourself in getting involved in this program?
If they visit our website, feedmyschool.org, on there are recipes that are tested and in quantity for school nutrition programs to use across the state. And all of our things that are on the website, everything is free. And there's also a for the classroom section, and those are things that we've developed for teachers to use as tools in their classrooms where they can use Georgia agriculture as a basis of just about any kind of lesson that they're going to be teaching.
Right. Well, it goes without saying you are doing a phenomenal job
Great,
with this.
thank
you so much for coming in.
And
Best
Georgie,
of luck. And Georgie, again, we love having you in here. Hi, Paul. Hi, Paul. Good man. Yeah. All right. All right. Well, coming up next, the Georgia Growing theme continues with our latest installment of Meals from the Field. This month, Marcia and I are cooking up some make-ahead breakfast ideas that will make your holiday company want to stay an extra few days. I don't know if that's a good idea. Maybe that might be a bad thing or not, but stay tuned. All right, welcome back to the Georgia Fire Monitor and to another edition of Meals from the Field. Yes, it's only been a month since we've seen Marcia Crowley, and today, with Thanksgiving behind us, we are looking ahead towards Christmas. And I know we just got all our relatives out of the house, but they're probably all going to come back in. And the question, what do I want to do for breakfast? Do I want to go out? Do I want to get some fast food, something quick, or do I want to impress company and make something ahead? That's what we're doing today. We're making things ahead. Good to see you again, Marcia.
Good to see you, Ray.
And I know you've got a lot of good stuff here, so I'm just going to let you dive right into it.
I always try to make a breakfast ahead of time, so I'm not scrambling Christmas morning. There's enough going on. I see what you did there, scrambling. Get it like scrambled eggs. Scrambled eggs. That's what we're going to do.
Okay.
All right, this first one is a sausage and grits casserole. So I've got, you cook 1.5 cups of grits in 4 3/4 cups of water, and they're quick grits, or if you have your favorite grit recipe, go for it. Okay. You're going to add to that, stir in 4 cups of shredded cheese till it's all melted. Now, what could go wrong with this? Nothing.
Nothing.
Not with that much cheese in there. All right, I'm just going to, and this time saving, we're going to pretend that all this cheese is melted because these grits have cooled just a little bit.
Okay.
All right, we're going to add to that 1 cup of 50/50 or milk. Stir that in there.
You spilled.
Uh-oh. I spilled it on the floor before you got here, so that's nothing. All right, that's melting pretty good.
That looks really good.
It's really good. And then this is 2 14-ounce packages of smoked sausage, which I've browned. I mean, it's already cooked, but it just, some of the fat gets out of it. Okay, you're going to stir that in there. And like I said, this is very filling. And this, the good thing about this recipe is you can make it 4 days in advance if you want to, or the night before. All right, stir that up pretty good. Then we're going to add some thyme, salt and pepper, and garlic powder, and 4 eggs beaten. You stir all that up together, and you put it in a 9x12 casserole dish. And like I said, you can do it overnight or up to 4 days ahead. You're going to bake it at 350 for an hour until it's set, and it's real easy to tell when it's set because the center's not moving. All right, the next one is
that's it?
That's it.
Oh, okay.
It's so easy. That's why I love it. It's just simple. You're not really, well, you got to cook the grits. If you have a problem with grits, quick grits is the way to go.
And
that's
you know,
good.
let's go ahead and show a close-up of this.
But it's really good.
Got the little decorative sausage on top. How cute.
Isn't that cute?
That is cute. All right, what's next?
The next one is a make-ahead eggs Benedict recipe. And I really like this one too. It's fast, easy. This is 1.5 cups of ham chopped, or you could use Canadian bacon. I just like ham. Put half of that in the bottom of a 2-quart casserole. It looks like about half. You're going to top it with 3 English muffins. Like I said, it's eggs Benedict, so.
Oh, okay. I was going to ask you, why would you use the English muffins and not just some others?
Yeah.
But it's eggs Benedict.
It's
no,
eggs Benedict, so. And you could double this. I've doubled it before. Then you're going to top it with the rest of the ham. This is a little more elegant than the grits, but we'll go with it. All right, then we're going to add a cup of milk to 4 eggs. And 3 green onions. Ooh, that was lighter than I thought. Mix all that together and you just pour that over the top of this. Put it in the refrigerator overnight. And the next morning you cover it, bake it at 375 for 30 minutes, and then take the aluminum foil off and bake it until the eggs are set. And you could serve this with hollandaise sauce, which is what you would typically serve with Eggs Benedict. You can make it homemade, or you can buy the envelope, which is what I do.
Now, in my house, there would never be leftovers around the holiday season, but from time to time, people ask, you know, how long can some of this stuff sit in the refrigerator? How long will it keep? Can you eat the stuff in a couple days later?
Yeah,
or?
Typically with leftovers, you want to eat them within 3 days.
In 3 days, okay.
Yeah,
but stuff like this, it's, you know, it's good leftover, but it's better right there on the spot.
It's better right there, yep.
A couple hours later. So that's it. Again, 2 quick, easy recipes that you can make ahead of time to impress your company. And of course, you can find all these recipes by logging on to gfb.org/recipes. Everything is there for you in detail because of this wonderful woman standing next to me. We love you. Thank you so much, Marsha. Good to see you again.
Good to see you,
and happy Christmas.
Happy
Merry
Christmas,
I should say.
See you next year.
Happy holidays, and we will see you next year. And we will see you in a little bit. Kim, we'll send it back to you.
Ray and Marsha, thank you so much. Now finally this week, the 2017 peanut season is officially over, but people are still going nuts over them. That's because of a new education center down in Tifton that is teaching people about our state's largest crop. The Monitor's John Holcomb explained.
Here in Georgia, we produce more than 2 billion pounds of peanuts per year, which adds up to almost half of the peanuts produced in the United States. In an effort to educate the public on Georgia's peanuts and the peanut industry, the Georgia Peanut Commission decided to open an education center inside their office.
It's right here in Tifton on Interstate 75. It's a great opportunity for us to invite visitors into our office to learn about peanuts. So many folks traveling up and down the interstate, you know, to Florida and whatnot for family vacations. We have a unique opportunity to reach consumers and folks who maybe have a disconnection with agriculture.
After a couple of years of planning and renovating, the Education Center was just recently finished.
Our board of directors had the idea to have an educational area in the office, and when I came on board with the Peanut Commission, it was one of the first projects I was given. And it's taken us probably about a total of 2 years to do all the work and get it fully completed. And it was completed this September 2017 and was dedicated at that time.
Bland, who is one of the people in charge of the project, is confident that this center will be a good resource for those who do not know a lot about our state's ag industry.
I believe that this education center will help bring more interest to the state's agriculture industry and peanuts in particular. I think that there are many who are disconnected from it and don't know a lot about it.
The center was designed to showcase the story of the peanut industry in Georgia. On each wall, you'll find some type of information about our state's #1 crop.
We have everything from touchscreen monitors with different activities to learn about the different types of peanuts, where peanuts are grown, some fun games with facts about peanuts that you might not know, down to an actual peanut production video that you can view in 3D, and that allows visitors to kind of get a more real-life experience of what peanut production is like in the field if they're not able to actually visit a peanut field.
Displays and movies are not the only thing they have to help people learn. They also have a very unique exhibit that allows people to see a real-life example of how the industry has grown to what it is.
Also in our area, we have a live peanut plant exhibit so they can see a peanut plant growing, and it's got some doors underneath it. You can open it up, you can see the root system of the plant, you can see the pegs going into the soil and the peanuts forming on the end of the pegs. So it's really cool for them to be able to see a live peanut plant right there being grown if they're not able to go out into the field.
As if the displays and exhibits weren't enough, there are also some beautiful murals that were painted by local artist Jill Whitley.
We've got several different ones in the area. We have some very artistic peanut vines painted around one of our desks. We have a peanut mural showcasing all the different peanut products that you can make with peanuts, sitting in a peanut field that's over by our video. And then we have a beautiful mural in the foyer area that depicts peanut production from planting to harvest.
Reporting in Tifton for the Georgia Farm Monitor, I'm John Holcomb.
All right, that's going to do it for this week's edition of the Georgia Farm Monitor.
Here's a reminder, for all the latest ag info regarding food, great recipes, and what's happening down on the farm, be sure you check out our Twitter, Facebook, and Pinterest pages. You'll stay informed and see what's up in the world of farming, plus here on the show.
Yes, take care, everybody. We'll see you next week right here on the Georgia Farm Monitor.
Have a great week.